after that series that they lost, the Bulls started bulking up and getting stronger, and then they swept the Pistons in '91. The Pistons walked off the court without shaking hands, and then the Bulls faced the Lakers in the NBA Finals and won their first championship. So, my first question for you guys is: Phil Jackson the greatest coach of all time? And if he isn't, who is? And if he is, who's second behind Jackson?
I'll go first.
Phil. Myself this question the other day.
I'll go first. Phil Jackson's the best. After that, for me, is Pat Riley.
I was gonna say the same thing.
That's it. You guys can go next.
Who was the coach for the Boston Celtics? I mean, the Lakers when they had the dynasty before those years?
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley.
No, I'm talking about way before that.
Chuck.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I think Pat Riley.
In the 80s. It was Pat Riley.
What's that coach's name for the Celtics who smoked cigars in the fucking...
Red Auerbach, whatever, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like 10 rings.
I think it's a Pat Riley.
Yeah. I will agree with Lee. I will say Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is like the Belichick of basketball.
No, really, because he never went to another team and produced the same way they did with the Bulls.
The Lakers.
The Lakers.
Lakers.
Come on, look what you have.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, man.
Because he had to take Kobe and Shaq and make them work. He had to make them work.
Nobody could stop Shaq, dude. And then you throw in Kobe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was the greatest, and maybe the second would probably be Popovich. I think he's pretty good, man.
Popovich, yeah.
Popovich is good too, but he's playing with the same team. I give credit to coaches that jump like you guys said. Coaches that have coached more than one team and still takes them to the playoffs, win championships. I value those coaches more. That's why I like, Pat Riley. What's his name?
Phil Jackson. Or Larry Brown was a good coach too.
He was a good coach, but I wouldn't put him like top two.
Yeah, in the episode, so I mentioned the Pistons, when they lost to the Bulls, they walked off the court without shaking hands, right? And they had Isaiah Thomas on there asking him, would you do it again and all this shit? And his explanation why they did it was that at that time, in the 80s, that's how they did it. They didn't fucking give everybody hugs when they lost, And not to mention, they talked about the year before when the Celtics lost to the Pistons, who the Celtics had been dominant in the East. They walked off the court before shaking hands too. So my question to you guys is: do you think them not shaking hands was part of the culture, or was it that they were just being sore losers because it was the end of their time?
I'll go first and I'll answer it quick. I say they were like Jordan said, they were fucking sore losers, and I like that Jordan said that. I fucking love Jordan. Hearing him curse, I like this. He said the 2 previous years we lost, and I went up to them and shook all their hands. Me personally, I don't know about the other team members. So out of respect, I think they should have just went, even if they just wanted to shake Jordan's hand, because they knew he was the next one coming up as the best in the league. Show your respect and shake the hands to the people who you previously beat twice, and they shook your hand. So I go, I don't believe it was the time of the culture, this and that. I just believe they were sore losers, and I leave it on your guys' hands.
Yeah, I agree. It was sore losers. I don't buy the fact that it was the culture. Even if the culture was part of it, I don't buy it. I think they were just upset that they lost. And they didn't only lose, they got swept. They got their ass handed to them.
Yeah, I go both ways. So I don't know why Isaiah's getting all the blame, because it seemed that Bill Laimbeer was the one who said it he was the one that said, listen, when this thing ends, don't shake their hands. So it's unfair that Isaiah's getting all the blame when Bill Laimbeer was the first one to say it. And then I get it from the Pistons standpoint. The Celtics did it to them too every year. So the Pistons kept losing, and shaking their hands. But then when the Celtics, when the Pistons finally beat the Celtics didn't shake their hands, and nobody made nothing big about it. But I guess that's because the Celtics were mostly white people, so they didn't make it like something bad. But then when the bad boys did it, they made it seem like, I understand they were sore losers, but I don't. Same time, Isaiah shouldn't be getting so much of the blame, because it was more Bill Laimbeer who was saying like, don't shake their hands. So it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, I think that's right.
The Bulls were just soft, man. For that, they real soft. Like, why even complain that these guys not shaking their hands? Like, you guys just won. You're so soft.
What do you think, Mel?
Yeah, I think they were just sore loser, but it also goes along with their with the narrative with that team at the time. They were the bad boys. They were tough guys. You know what I mean? They weren't like sentimental people, so it kind of made sense. But when Jordan did lose to them, they would shake their hands, right? Like all the time. But then when it was the other way around, I think they were kind of sore losers for that shit.
I think it's just built. I think it's just built on the person. Because like Leach has explained, the Celtics did it to them, and they're not saying nothing because they're white and this and that. But Isaiah, if we want to do the whole white, black, Isaiah's black. You know what I'm saying? Be the leader of the team and call. I'm not gonna listen to Laimbeer. Let me at least go shake somebody's hand. Now he regrets it because everybody's talking shit about it. Like Jordan said, don't show me what he's gonna fucking say because I know he's fucking regretting.
Yeah.
Like fucking Jordan letting you know, fuck you, still to this day.
Yeah.
5 years later, fuck your little ass. I'll fucking sweat you, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta admit, Jordan was feeling some type of way for getting beat up all those years.
Yeah.
He let out his frustration, like you said. He never had him curse.
I think Jordan just wanted to shake their hand and look them in their eyes and go, hot, just fucking beat you. Get out now, motherfucker.
That's some real soft shit. You need a pussy.
That's so funny.
They were really bad ones. They were fucking up.
15 pounds just to beat the Pistons.
All right, man. So episode 5. Lee, you have any other questions? Anybody?
Nah, there was a question on episode 3. I think me and Santi talked about this for a little bit. So a lot of people think that the best 1 and 2 punch were Jordan and Pippen. What will probably be the next best 1 and 2 punch?
Oh, that's a good one.
Shaq and Kobe.
I think there was one that Santi told me, I think yesterday, and I agree. Probably Wade and LeBron.
Who would be Jordan and Pippen on a 2-on-2?
What happened?
Who
Oh,
would be Jordan and Pippen on a 2-on-2?
Oh.
Shaq and Kobe.
2-on-2 half court, like back in the days you played the park. Who would be Jordan and Pippen?
Who's gonna stop Shaq?
yeah.
Yeah, but Shaq is gonna get tired after he starts chasing you around.
That's true. They could just shoot from the outside.
I told Lee that yesterday, like, you can't.
They better hit the jumpers. If they hit the jumpers, they'll beat them.
I could see LeBron and D-Wade giving them problems, but forget I could also see soft ass Steph Curry and KD giving them a little problem.
They're both skinny. You get out.
Yesterday, what was it, Alec Houston, Latrell Sprewell?
They were a good combo. Isaiah Thomas and Dumars were a good combo, but athletically, I think Wade and LeBron would be in the other 1-2 punch.
It's like the best shot, yeah.
What about you? What about you, Milton? Any Celtics 1 and 2 punch? KG and Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce, yeah, that'd be a good one. Now I was actually thinking of a recent one. I was thinking of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and more about Kawhi Leonard because he's such a good two-way player that I think he could like block either one of them down, and then Paul George would just be shooting. Paul George, I don't think he's a good defensive player, but
But like, just like I was even thinking, but I mean, they're not gonna come to this level. But even when Chris Paul and Blake Griffin used to play together, like just the 1 and 2 they used to do with each other.
Yeah, but then you could just throw the Stockton and fucking Malone.
Yeah, no, yeah. Mark Jackson and Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point.
Well,
Yeah, you could do that.
you could go to the next one, Mil.
That's a pretty good example.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, because I started watching when Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce were together. So Antoine Walker probably shoot the threes, Paul Pierce probably
I
rocking
forgot
it.
about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that would
I
be
mean,
good
every
though.
team has their most advanced. But they know each other good. Especially the combinations.
Stefan and KG, if they would have stood with the Timberwolves, they maybe could have been good too. Stefan Marbury and Kevin Garnett when they were on the Timberwolves.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. See, what about the OKC? Imagine if they still would have Harden.
They,
Westbrook,
yeah.
Durant,
The thing is, they all need the ball.
Harden, Ibaka, what the other guy was real good. They all believe. You would have had
Chicago
a
Bulls
wow.
was the best for you guys.
What was that?
What year Chicago Bulls was the best for you guys?
I think for me it was the second three-peat.
Yeah, that's so.
I guess they gotta be the 72 and 9, right?
Yeah, that would be.
Record one.
Where I was going with the 72 and 9 Bulls
Yeah.
beat the 73 and what was it for Golden State?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Cleveland Cavaliers beat them.
There you go.
Yeah, you got it.
Just remember, so you have Draymond. It could have been Draymond versus Rocky and Rodman. You have Pippen. We'll probably go with
Klay Thompson.
Clay.
Yeah.
You got little weak ass motherfucking Curry versus Jordan, who would have been bullied around. And now you have the other two people. What? Who they had? Kerr. Their coach Kerr was the second three-peat, right?
Yeah, he was the point guard.
You think the Bulls would have beat Golden State?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't think so.
LeBron beat them.
God.
On KD or without KD?
Well, I don't know. Whatever year they had the best record.
KD came the
Wait,
second.
KD?
Or was it without KD?
KD came the season after they had the best record.
Yeah, Golden State was a special team, man. They just didn't miss. And they played good defense.
You know what's special about them?
Yeah, they call fouls very easy.
That their owner had a deep pocket. That was special about them.
But the NBA too soft right
I'm saying, in this era, you know, the Bulls Robin wouldn't be able to do what he used to do. He would foul out, like in the third quarter.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
NBA is too
So that's
soft.
the reason why I think Golden State would have handled it.
Oh, you're exactly. So I think Jordan would have been in the foul line more now also, because he was always taking it to the hole.
Oh yeah, he would have definitely been a good scorer, but he's playing against a team that they were great at scoring.
Magic Johnson said he was always in the foul line. When they were taking the picture, he didn't say, "Oh, you can't get too close to Jordan."
Yeah. Yeah, that's too funny. Yeah. Go ahead, Milton. Go to the...
Different arrows too.
So episode 5, it starts out with Michael Jordan's last All-Star game as a Chicago Bull. Kobe Bryant is interviewed in the episode, talks about his relationship with MJ, how important it was for him, and how like if he didn't have MJ tutoring him or like being his big brother, he probably would have never won those championships that he won with the Lakers. Talks about the last game in MSG, and then it goes back to the beginnings of Michael Jordan starting his Nike brand with Air Jordans and everything. He originally wanted to go to Adidas, which was
Which shocked me.
was that a shock?
Crazy.
It was shocking to me.
Well, it depends. The 80s Adidas, people used to rock Adidas, like Run DMC and stuff like that. Nobody was really
I was
rocking
gonna say,
Nikes.
Yeah. Taking the
But
hip-hops.
they didn't have fashion
I mean, I don't even know.